And we're doing a long hallway anyway, but notice I can't see the end of that. Hey! That was cheating. For as long as you can remember, legends have been told about the derelict mansion upon the hill that casts a blanket of darkness over the town. The history of the house itself is virtually unknown, and even the town's oldest residents cannot remember the mansion's origin. Being an avid history enthusiast, you embark up the mountain to visit the manor, hoping to shed some light on the backstory of this crumbling fortress of darkness. Alright everyone, let's press enter. Welcome to Let's Play Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion, formerly Spooky's Jumpscares before there was a lawsuit, blah blah blah. Alright, let's play. Now, I don't really know anything about this game. I played it a little bit just to get the recording set up, but in the end I'm just doing display capture, so it doesn't really matter anyway. Let's do a new game. Controls, WASD, activate E, enter space, use weapon. That's interesting because that kind of conflicts with what I thought I knew about this game. So...
Hello, I am Spooky.
Oh, you're adorable.
And this is my home.
You're like an Adventure Time character.
Can you, humble player, make it through 1,000 rooms? Can you find what lies at the end? Or is there even an end? Because I don't really know. Anyway, just go.
Alright. Now, I don't really know that much about this game, except for one thing, and that's all I've heard about it, is that it's a cute little game, but it's all a lie. And that's really all I know. Like, it's cute, but that it's a genuinely unnerving game, even though I don't think the style ever changes. Like I said, I really don't know much about it, so let's just go on. We have to make it through 1,000 rooms, and then it's over. Alright, now... Okay, is it just going to be doing this the entire time? Because that was truly adorable, and it still scared me. It's weird. Before I started playing games for this channel, I would like never get scared by games, but there's just something about recording it that makes it actually get me. I will say, the ambient noises and the draw distance really do make it... Like, I am a little bit unnerved already, and to be honest, the adorable everything just makes it worse. It is undeniably adorable. Maybe I should start sprinting, because we're on room 5 of 1,000. Sprint, 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 sprint. Now, I do wonder if it's possible to get lost. I don't think I can go back. Can I go back? No, I can't. Okay, so I don't think I should be able to get lost. That's a torn painting that looks a lot like eyes. That's... appears to be a person walking on a beach in the sunset while they're filming their 90s album. More torn paintings. Yeah, I'm just going to start sprinting through. If there's 1,000 rooms, I have to imagine a lot of them are pretty generic. Oh, that sprint runs out pretty fast. I may have to be careful if I ever have to actually run from something. Is there a bed? There's a bed. Can I use the bed? Doesn't look like I can jump, so I can't jump on top of it. I think this is just set dressing. The darkness out of those windows is kind of neat and creepy. Ooh, we have 2 doors. Does it matter which one I go through? That appears to be Jack Skellington waiting for me at the end of a blood-red cave. I don't know if it matters which door I chose. I don't like that noise. That music is real creepy. That actually reminds me of, it's almost like a slowed down version of the music that plays during Suicide Mouse, if you've ever heard of that creepypasta. Maybe I'll do a video on that, because that was kind of like the first creepypasta that I ever read. This is a bit of a larger room. But it doesn't seem like there's anything for me to actually do here. I can't interact with anything besides the doors so far. Oh my god. Stop that! It's literally... It's building up to such nothing jump scares. No, okay, you know what? I decided the topic of my next video essay. I've been trying to think of a topic for like a week now, and I just decided it. It's jump scares and when they are and are not earned. Okay, we have 3 doors. I'm going to go for the middle one because it's my favorite. Okay, I thought it was going to pull one of those like endlessly looping hallways on me. Something which I anticipate this game is very prone to. Oh, that ambiance. Take a minute to listen to that ambient track, as you see all these chairs facing forward, right? Forward to what, you'll ask? You can't see because the draw distance doesn't see the end of the room, and then you walk up, and it's nothing. This game is legitimately one of the creepier games I've played, and it's not even doing anything yet. I'm on room 27 out of 1,000, so I'm actually really curious to see what it's going to do. That looks like a note on the table. Can I read that? Is there lore? And at first this place seemed cute, but I've been here for days now. I'm feeling quite parched now, and I keep getting this feeling like I'm being watched by something. This is not romantic at all. Well, I don't know why you would come here for romantic feelings, but... I mean, if they could do it in Rocky Horror. Alright, moving forward. See, that one just got a noise. It didn't actually scare me. I'm making the noises automatically now. Oh, nope. There's the full body tension. It was just a bit of a delayed reaction is all. Whoa, why did my frame rate get so bad just there? Are you the one taking my frame rate, you adorable little thing? Okay, the paths fork here. I'm assuming it doesn't matter which paths I take. The frame rate is not amazing right now, and I don't know why it's gotten like this. Like, I can just feel... I don't know if you can see it, but I can just feel the stiffness when I turn the mouse. Any notes here? No, doesn't look like it. Now this is interesting. There are 4 doors to choose from. I'm just going to keep hitting doors. See, if you go watch my gaming phobias video, my phobias were water, long hallways, what was the third one? Oddly lifelike sound effects, and nothing. As in the anticipation of something. All 4 are in full effect. Well, not water. 3 of them are in effect right now. And they are in effect to the max, let me tell you. Is that a candle? Can I light it? I can't light the candle. It looks like somebody ate the wick, too. I can't help but feel that this is all building to something. Okay, the soundtrack's getting... Ooh, this is new. Keep a little pep in your step. Oh, that's adorable. I know something is following me, but I feel like I'm prancing through the same rooms over and over. Hopefully leaving notes as breadcrumbs will prove I'm making progress reaching some destination. I just hope I don't run out of ink. I'm dreadfully thirsty. Well, you could always... I mean... You know, being a pragmatist, you could always drink the ink. Game save. Okay, so these act as save points. Are these going to be coming every 50 rooms? Probably. Going down. What did I do? Oh. Well, we're going deep into the earth. Going down, that's always a good thing in horror games. That always means that good things are on the horizon. Alright. Oh, they're doing the Resident Evil thing. That was 3D I just witnessed. Oh, stop that. That kind of... Okay. That started out as just a thing flying out, but the sound quickly... Ooh, nice soundtrack. But that very quickly turned into, like, a cry of fear, like, distant scream type of sound effect. I don't like how it did that. Alright. Going right. Locked. Oh, it's always great when you get to the end of the hallway and it's locked. You always want to turn around after that happens. Maybe it does matter which way I go? Ink. Not quite quenching my thirst. Oh, you took my advice! Taste is terrible. Stains are terrible. I don't think drinking it was a very romantic idea. Come off of romance, alright? Unless you have no problem smooching some demonic entity. This guy put a candle on top of this one. I found something today to satisfy my unromantic thirst. I awoke today from a brief faint and found before me a bottle of red wine. I'm not sure what brand or year, for there is no label. All I gather is that it tastes strongly metallic. That's blood, my dude. You shouldn't drink blood. Well, unless you're thirsty. It is probably... I'm not a doctor, but blood is probably better for quenching thirst than ink. I will give you that. What is this? What is this? This is really creepy. I wonder if I can fall down here. I mean, I'm not going to do it on purpose. I'm sure it'll happen by accident at some point. Okay, but if I take the wrong path, I can end up stuck and having to go back. If things are ever going to chase me, that's going to be a problem if there's more rooms like this, which, being on room 57, I imagine we're going to be seeing a lot of the same rooms again and again. And it does seem like stamina resets between rooms. So that's good. What is that? Wait, something happened when I went through it. Oh, this goo slows me down. That's not good. Maybe I should look around first? Oh, so I do have to read the notes. Spouting, splashing, soaking, innards, ingest, invoking, nailing never stops the choking. Nice poetry. Wait, oh! What are you? Okay, we have begun running. Running has begun. Running is now happening. Move! Move! Running, running, running. Okay, so there is stuff to run from in this game. I just hope there's never going to be, like, patrolling enemies. Because that ain't my favorite form of gameplay. Oh, I can hear it behind me. I can hear it breathing behind me. Is the rest of the game going to be like this? I'm assuming yes. I'm not going to look back. I don't know how fast it's moving. I also don't know... Locked! Ow! Always just be right behind me. Ugh. Move. Where? I didn't even see it. Oh, that took like half my health, too. That's a real lame maneuver. Okay, I can't go that way. If I remember right, I have to go right. Right? If it's the same, I have to go right. Move. No! Oh, God, no. 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 Okay, I gotta juke around you. Ow! Oh, I can't really juke around you. That's actually a really lame mechanic if I can just get screwed over by random chance this way. I hope that I've already crossed the ash threshold. Ah, don't have time for you. Aw, are you gonna chase me all the way to 100? It just goes on and on. Oh, I'm out of stamina. It regenerates quickly, but you don't want to run out at the wrong time. Okay, are you done chasing me? Okay, and it also looks like my health regenerates slowly, so I probably don't have to find healing items. I probably can take a moment to just chill here. I don't know if he's going to start chasing me again as soon as I leave. I want to make sure I have full health before I know what the mechanics of this game are. But it does seem as though I'm going to have to be running fairly often. Because that lasted a while. That was like 20-something rooms right there. Ugh. I expected there to be a door around that corner. There was not. Cells. Hey! Well, at least my scream was proportional to the sound of the scare. Hey, you little squinchy minchy. What are you, an ice cream cone? You're like a squishy little ice cream cone. Mm. Oh, what is this? This is new. It looks like there's stuff out there, but I can't see it because of the fog. I feel like this is like what Project Zomboid would look like if it were 3D. I'm assuming these are developers. Or, no. These are probably Twitch streamers who played the game, right? Okay. There's like a film grain on the screen now. What's that about? Locked. I hear breathing. See, I don't know if I have to take it slow because at some point... Locked. Am I in the same place? I don't know if I'm going to have to take it slow because there'll be things around corners or if they'll always be behind me. Okay, that door opened. And now the film grain's gone. A cage in a dark cave with someone in it. I haven't really been looking at the paintings in a while. I've been a little too preoccupied for that. A chandelier. Yeah, a lot of the time this game's not giving me a whole lot to commentate on. Yeah. That was a decidedly not cute sound effect that it just played. Sometimes it's a cute little squishy sound effect, and sometimes it's pure horror. But we got the nice soundtrack back. I imagine I'm going to be encountering you at some point in the future. Arcade machines. Mrs. Spook. Oh, I can actually play them. Okay, so I'm playing as Spooky. I won? That was oddly gory. Okay. That was terrifying. Maul of the Spook. And a blank one. I'm not going to bother with these right now. Oh, this is new. Oh. That sounded like a correct noise. Oh. Oh, it's going to be like a Simon Says, isn't it? Am I going to have to run from monsters through these? Because if so, that's real annoying. Okay, left. Forward. Okay, left, forward. Alright. Left. Forward. Forward. Left, forward, forward, left. Okay. I don't know if it's going to be the same for all of them. Ooh, another note. I don't think that was wine. I mean, I could have told you that. That appears to be a house on fire. Room 100, we have made it. Alright, let's read this note. I don't know how much longer I can go on. I haven't seen any of my previous notes, so that means either I'm getting somewhere, or someone's taking them. Mad spooks gadzooks. Let's save, and head on down again. So I guess every... Well, we went down at floor 50. So I guess every 50 floors will be a new one. Figure in this session, maybe we'll get to like 200, 250. Oh, this is new. This is some new stuff. More cages. You are here. Thank you, Spooky. That's tremendously helpful. There's an ominous wub-wubbin. This appears to be the line for the Haunted Mansion ride at Disney World. That's a long way down. I can't actually look all the way down. What is this, a console game? Just no! Oh! Oh! Oh. Alright, moving on. Alright. It didn't do a thing that time. Alright, it did that time. Alright, left. 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 Forward. Left. Alright, left, left, forward, left. This is something new. What's going on here? Locked. What are the... Okay, this is not the game I was introduced to. This is very bad. Something has escaped. Something has most assuredly escaped. A key. Okay, card key. That's an odd way of phrasing that. Okay, Subject 5 is growing more and more restless. I told Spook we need more funds for sedatives, but she just laughed and flew into the ceiling. Without more chemicals to keep these things docile, I'm not sure how much longer we can keep them here safely. Signed, generic lab assistant. Okay, so even while it's getting scarier, it's going to keep that humor, I guess. But I'm assuming the red keycard will open this door. No. That's probably going to be my exit from this area. I have a feeling I don't want to step in the blood. I believe Subject 5 is loose. The glass around its container is shattered, and I can faintly hear clicking coming from the ceiling. I don't know what will happen now. If it's out and alive, then this probably is my last report. The clicking is getting louder now. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, I'm imagining I have to avoid those holes in the ceiling. But I can't always. If it just puts them in the middle of the hallway like that. Oh, geez. Okay, so I have to avoid those holes in the ceiling while running from this thing. Ugh. Ugh. I only saw it for a second, but it looks like some kind of spider monster. Don't have time for you. Avoid the holes. There's only so offset I can be from those holes. Ugh. Don't like that noise. Alright, I don't think it's chasing me right now because the music stopped. You're an adorable but also spooky one, ain't ya? I've been saying that a lot. I think this is my last note. I'm going to die having never found my escape, but really that's not true. This place was like my escape. The escape from everything else. In the end, my death is kind of romantic. You're weird. You're weird and I'm moving on. I can at least take solace in knowing that I made it farther than you. You blood and ink drinking weirdo. What is this? Cat DOS. Oh, even the logo for the evil operating system is adorable. Alright, Specimen 1. Maybe I can learn something useful. Type docile, total fatalities 4, method heart attack. These things have killed 4 people. A cardboard cutout figure that springs out from the walls, proved not very effective against healthy subjects. Specimen 2. Oh, it's that guy, the first guy that chased me. Fatalities 137, method physical tearing. A mostly semi-solid based specter that frequently changes matter states. Proved very effective against weaker or slower subjects. Specimen 3. That's the man I was just running from. Total fatalities 43. Method infectious bites, so maybe it can poison me? A fast specimen being developed at GL Labs. Should prove useful when released. Trials have shown it is adequately effective to average subjects. Hang on, wait, I hit the wrong button. Okay, I haven't... You're spooky. You look like a Courage of the Cowardly Dog monster. I haven't encountered you yet. Method consumption, fatalities 85. A 14th century spirit that was contained and relocated here. Tests have yet to reveal origins, but all relevant information has been placed into testing chamber. Prove effective, but not greatly more than previous specimens. Like a 13 Ghosts story going on here. Some weird clay sculpture. Total fatalities 168. Method unknown. A creature found inside the church of a small town. Subjects are lost after contact with the specimen. Current method of killing is unknown. Proved extremely effective against subjects with mental issues or weak wills. I am both looking forward and not looking forward to knowing what you're about. Okay, error on specimen 6. Error, trying to see more. Okay, so that's it for that. What was modify house layout? Error, that's what I thought. Okay, but the layout does change. I'm not sure if that's a mechanic or if it's just there for me to see. So there's like SCP stuff going on in here as well. Oh, I love this. I really hope it's not going to have any of those holes in the ceiling around those thin hallways. Alright, moving forward. What's going on here? It's Krang. Okay, it doesn't look like there's anything else I can do here. The game just wanted me to see that, apparently. It is noticeably darker in here than in the other places. See, when you show me more area to explore, I want to do it, but I don't think it actually matters which door I go through. I don't like it when they make it so much darker. I don't know why, just something about that really trips the spooky sensor in me. Oh, well, I guess now I've made it farther than this guy. Can I take his hat? It's not going to let me take his hat. Hang in there. Will do. Alright, save game. Move down. Moving on. And once again, we're in a new area. It seems like we're going to get a little bit of a retexture with each time we move down a floor. I really don't like... I don't like hitting a locked door at the end of a hall, and I don't like going through a door only to be met with a face full of wall. It makes me feel kind of claustrophobic. There's a vat of something. And what did we learn? That these things don't always have the same layout, and you can't really see where you're going until it's too late. So when you have to run from something, these things could be a real problem. Luckily, getting hit doesn't seem to be an insta-death, but these are a huge issue if you have to run through them with something in pursuit. This place is finally starting to affect me. I've seen enough horror movies to know how to survive a simple ghost or two. But these monsters keep getting faster and stranger. Okay, so I guess we're reading a note from somebody else now. Another one of these Silent Hill rooms. More of those horror streamers. I don't actually know who any of them... Shut up. I don't actually know who any of them are. But I'm assuming that's who they are, because they have, like, some of them have, like, that soundproof background. And the ambient noises have given themselves a little bit of a change, which always causes me to tense up a little bit. In order to survive this house, I need to keep writing notes. I must do everything a central protagonist would, and hope this is one of those stories. Insert obscure horror reference that no one gets and misinterprets his instructions somehow. Is that a reference to something? Oh, I have a flashlight now. We're playing a whole different horror game here. Locked. So we're in like a Japanese school. A common setting for horror games. Couple of velociraptors. They look sort of like some of the heads we saw in the other room. That's creepy. Shadows that are only visible in the flashlight. What are you? Matsuri never came to class today. I hope she made it home okay. Who's going to school at, like, the bottom of this mansion? Is there anything useful in here? It does not seem to be the case. I have to maintain a certain sense of direction or I'm going to end up facing the wrong way. Could it really be true? I thought the fairy tales about the ghost that eats children who sneak in after class was just to keep us from disobeying, but Matsuri is still missing. Oh, this is going to be that ghost I saw on the computer, isn't it? Isn't it? Yep! Oh, I don't like the noises you're making. Run. You have a spooky but neat soundtrack accompanying you. I'll give you that. I will give you that. But gotta keep moving. See, I like the soundtrack in this game. It reminds me of, like, a Game Boy Color soundtrack. Okay, I think I'm safe. It reminds me of the soundtrack to, like, a Game Boy Color game, but, like, with that little bit of corruption to it. It almost sort of reminds me, if you've ever heard the Lavender Town tone, which was... I never really played a lot of Pokemon, but from what I understand, it was a soundtrack that was only in the Japanese version of the first Pokemon game, and it, like, really creeped a lot of people out. I've heard it on YouTube, but I don't actually know anything about Pokemon. Left. Forward. Right. 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 Forward. Right, right, forward. Right. Right. Forward. Left. Alright, I guess we'll try out while we're here Mall of the Spook. Once again, it is surprisingly gory and incredibly easy, and just features spooky massacring people. And I have to say, there actually is somewhat satisfying feedback to this violence fest of a game. Oh, I actually lose health over time. I am sustained by the blood of the innocent. I don't know when it's over. How do I know when it's over? Okay, that's enough of this. Video games cause violence. I think that video game actually was violence, that one in particular. Another computer, is it going to tell me anything new? No. Okay, so I guess these are all the same. This is a little bit of a different layout. It seems like a trap. There's a door right here. It just seems like a trap. That did not feel right at all. Because normally, look, the edge of your draw distance there, right? But I could see stuff at the end of that hallway, and it was a lot farther away than that. It just seemed like a trap, especially because it put a usable door right to the left of me. Like, right there. Somebody let me know in the comments what would have happened if I had gone down that way. Maybe I missed something important. Maybe I made a mistake. Left, no. Alright, forward, forward. Forward, forward, right. Forward, 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 left. Yep. You, went off a little premature on that one. Well, I still haven't died, so it appears I might be the protagonist, but I'm not entirely sure. I hope I'm not some side character that leaves notes for pointless exposition. Bad news for you. Well, unless you're gonna live and I'm not. Also, I found a strange computer that gave descriptions of the monsters, and it seems like they're called effective based on how many people they kill. Already gathered. You're not breaking new ground here. So it seems like you always have to go to the left at first. But what varies is whether you have to make the second right or left. Now, I don't know if it alternates, or if it's random each time. But there's a note over there that I should really go and get. What have you got for me? I think the effectiveness of the specimens is also somehow related to the souls of the people they kill somehow. Anyway, I'm still alive and strong, but I feel like the inmost cave of my journey lies ahead. I wonder what the antagonist will look like. I hope they're cute. Well, everything else has been pretty cute so far, except for the demonic monstrosities, and even then the ghost girl was pretty cute. Both ghost girls, actually. Is there a ghost... Oh, shut up, you're going off way too early. Is there a cute ghost boy at the end of this? This is a bit more winding. Which means that there's also a bit more of a consequence if I get it wrong. I don't think there was any alternate path to take here. But there is a bit more of a consequence for getting this wrong if I end up here in a chase. And we're doing a long hallway anyway, but notice I can't see the end of that. Hey! That was cheating. Alright, another one of these. Yeah, so we always have to go left. So far, there's always been a chair on the right. Now, last time we had to go right, so this time we have to go left. If it alternates every time, that's supremely useful to know, because I just have to remember what it was the last time. Ah! Ah! There you are, there you are, there you are, there you are. You weren't even playing music. Ah! Okay. Here we are at room 200. Read the note. I just realized that I never had a mentor figure, trial, or leaving home scene. This means this story isn't following the archetypes to make me a traditional hero, which means I can be killed off. Well, it was nice for a little while at least. Okay. Well, that's actually all I have time for right now. I would normally run for a little longer, but I gotta go. I'm going to save the game, and thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. This game is really interesting so far.